Brain damage from alcohol is more common than most people realise. Many more children are born with FAS than with Down syndrome or spina bifida. Research in the US, Canada, South Africa, Russia and other countries report that 1 in 100 babies are born with alcohol-related birth defects, including attention deficit disorder, heart problems, hyperactivity, nervous system damage and other disorders. Think about it. Would you buy your baby a pint at the pub? So why give it to your unborn child? When a pregnant woman drinks, she can actually alter and damage her baby's brain.
What we have here is a picture of a normal baby's brain and a picture of a baby who's been affected by fetal alcohol syndrome. And what you can see is that the brain of a normal baby is quite detailed, well developed, and it's larger. Whereas on the right, the brain is less featured, smaller, and just looks like a more undeveloped organ.
The brain develops throughout gestation, and that it isn't just in the first 3 months when the brain is forming, but actually in the later months when the brain can be very vulnerable to alcohol's effect.
This diagram shows the sort of features that you might see in a baby with fetal alcohol syndrome. The children have very small eye slits. Their philtrum is absent. The philtrum is the long ridge that comes down between your nose and the upper lip, and they have a really flattened upper lip and philtrum, and the upper lip is very thin. So it's not just the baby that's affected, the family is affected. That community that child goes into are affected.
3 out of 4 of Sonia's grandchildren have fetal alcohol syndrome. Only Peter, the oldest, does not have FAS. With the help of her daughter Tracy, Sonia is raising her 4 grandchildren since their mother Felicia died from alcohol-related disorders.
Tracy was always there with my everything. With her, I down one day, she would say, "Okay, then, Mum, I would take Louise."
I didn't think that Felicia was aware about how the effect of drink had an impact on her children. Mark is probably, out of all 3 of them, affected the most. He's unable to speak.
No.
He's living in a home in Doncaster and been diagnosed as being autistic, and he has problems walking.
Come on, then. Oh, yes.
We're waiting for Kevin's assessment to be completed by his GP. And he has problems taking part in physical activities. He finds it very hard. Louise has been recently diagnosed about a year ago with fetal alcohol syndrome. She's really hyperactive and it's affected her speech. She doesn't speak. Peter's 16 now. He's doing his A-levels and I've been to the school and he's doing really, really well.
My nan got a phone call saying that my mum died. And at first my nan didn't want to tell me. She didn't want to upset me. And then when I found out, I don't know, just changed what I saw, my perspective of life. So all of my life, I've seen my mum, I've seen my dad drink, and I think I don't hate my mum, but I hate the alcohol. I just hate the whole aspect of it. Despite I do drink from time to time, I'm never gonna be an alcoholic because what I've seen, and it destroys people's lives, and it's destroyed my mum's, it's destroyed my dad's, it's destroyed my brother and my sister technically, and I hate it.
The majority of children and adults with FAS don't look different. They appear to be the same as everyone else. We can't see their brain damage, but they may have mild to severe learning disabilities. Because they have difficulties maturing, in adolescence they lose their friends. They end up alone. They can't do maths, they can't work out change or tell time. But because they look like everyone else, society expects them to act like everyone else. This is CJ. She's 20, but her academic ability is half her age.
What is FAS to you? What do you have?
I have a learning disability.
Okay.
And it's caused by my mom or birth mom drinking alcohol.
Okay.
And it means I have trouble with some stuff.
Okay. Like what stuff?
Math and spelling and left and right Memory.
Yeah, and memory. And memory. Well, CJ joined our family when she was 14 months old. She was recognized almost immediately as having all kinds of special needs. But from the beginning, she had difficulty with friendships. To this day, that's true. She has very, very few friends. She makes social faux pas on a daily basis that she has no understanding of what she did. Her anxiety level and her depression have gotten greater and greater as she's gotten older because she's not fitting in.
Grade 6, I met Nicole. And we were the only ones out study buddies. And then in grade 8, Nicole met some smart people, like really smart people. And she was really smart. And we stayed friends, but her friends didn't like me because I wasn't smart enough. And I would try to be really smart, and I would try to, get good grades, but they'd call me dumb if I didn't get good grades, and if I did, they said I was a cheater, and I couldn't win. So, I just stopped trying.
To look pretty much like everybody else, and to talk really well, which is also true of the majority of kids with FAS, talk really well. Society expects that you think well, and nothing could be farther from the truth with this disability. Talking well and thinking well do not equate.
Well, I want to be like other adults, but I can't always be like other adults, so it's frustrating. It's because I can't take the bus, and I don't really want to drive, and I get worried a lot, more than other people do.
CJ, like most children with fetal alcohol syndrome, and she is a full syndrome child, by the time they're older, they don't look particularly different. Society really thinks that if you have a disability, we need something that proves to us you need to have a white cane, you need to have a hearing aid, you need a wheelchair, or you need to have two heads, basically, before we're going to accept that there's something wrong because we can't see the brain.
Sometimes I wish I didn't have FAS. Because, yeah.
Fetal alcohol affected adolescents are usually half their age in terms of their emotional and social development. So if you're 16, you probably are acting more like an 8-year-old, but you're in a 16-year-old body and people are expecting you to act that way.
If you have a child that's affected with fetal alcohol syndrome, that's not going to go away. It's there for life. Mental retardation, learning difficulties, attention deficit, always in trouble, always getting told off, never understanding why you're doing and what's happening to you.
The children in this program are lucky. They have families to love them and care for them and support them. But difficulties often lead to problems. The majority of children with FAS end up in care, become homeless, run away, or get into trouble with the law. People always ask, what is a safe amount of alcohol a woman can drink while she is pregnant?
Because we don't know the safe level for any particular mother, then I don't think women should be advised to drink at all during pregnancy. That's not to say that if you have some drinks during pregnancy that you're going to damage your baby necessarily, but you don't know whether you're the particular mother that is going to be vulnerable, and whether your baby is going to be the baby that gets the poison effect.
We don't know what the safe levels of alcohol consumption are, but probably the safest way forward is to say that no alcohol is probably best in pregnancy.
So the only truly accurate advice is no drinking equals no risk.